Hi everyone, this is Andrew Follage with Fitness by Andrew Personal Training based out here in Arizona. And for this month, I'm going to share with you guys 3 different upper body mobility drills that I think are great to be done, that I know most people do not do, whether they think it's not worth it or whether they don't know how. I'm hoping to share this with you guys through the video, and if you have any questions, you contact us here at the studio, whether we're here in Scottsdale or Mesa. And I'm going to show a few different techniques. One, just using my body, just using your body at home, or using one of our stick mobility sticks. So our first mobility drill is called a gunslinger. And so what this is, I'm going to try to set an angle so you can see what I'm doing, is I'm going to try to extend my hands up and push out. And as I push out, I want to curve my spine over, tucking my abdominals and clenching my glutes as I do so. Deep breath in. So imagine Wild West times. So I'm just going to draw up and push out. Draw up. And I'm exaggerating the contraction of my abdominals, of my glutes, my chest, my shoulders as I push forward, my triceps as I extend out, and drawing back in. Very controlled, very deliberate. You should feel like you're actually moving the air in front of you. It should not just feel like I'm just going to do this. I want an honest action and intent, with intent for sure. So if you can draw up and push out. Deep breath in. Out. You're going to feel that spine really start to loosen up. It's also a great hip exercise in terms of we're tilting the hips forward and backwards. So if you do have that anterior tilt or posterior tilt problem, or it's a hard time controlling what the pelvis does, it's a great exercise. Our next drill is a side bend or torso side bend stretch. What we're going to do first with just your body weight and no added props is just get into a hands up position with your palms forward. Take one hand, reach across your body, and then try to take that other hand and reach up and over as far as you can. Try and get those hands as far away from each other as possible, and then return to that hands up position. Then from the other side, reach across, reach up and over, and return. And you're trying to find your endpoint of how far can you reach those hands away from each other. Try not to bend the elbows, because you're not going to feel the effect. You're not going to feel the stretch coming across the side of your spine into those lats. So really try to extend that arm, extend the other arm, and how far can they get away? So that's with no props. Now we can also do it with a stick mobility stick. If I put it into a baseboard of a wall, I'm going to assume, instead of starting from that hands up position, my one hand that would come across is already going to push down into the stick. So what I'm going to do is push this hand, this arm, into the stick and reach across and up with the other arm, and then return. I'm going to keep this hand here the whole time. So pressure on the stick, pushing into the baseboard of the wall, and then up and over. Return. Pressure on the stick, pushing into the wall, up and over, return. You should feel a huge stretch into those lats, the side of your rib cage, your spine. You might even feel into your hips or into your neck. Depending on how tight or where you're limited at, you're going to feel a little differently. But the idea is, if you're doing it with no props, alternate side to side, 10 reps per side. If you're using a stick to get a little bit extra mobility into it in terms of some pressure, adding some strength into the movement, again, only do 10 per side. And that's our torso side bend stretch, either with or without the stick mobility assistance. So here's our third drill. What that is, it's going to be on your hands and knees, whether you're on the bare floor, carpet, grass outside, it doesn't matter as long as you get into a comfortable position. And we're going to do a reach under, shoulder to the floor with a pull back as well. And what that's going to help you do is basically help you rotate that spine better while keeping a neutral hip, learning how to use both sides of the body. 3, 2, 1. So here's our third drill, and what it is a reach under to a pull from your hands and knees. What I want you to do is get into a tabletop quadruped position. You're gonna put the entire length of your arm and shoulder on the floor as best you can. So you're gonna take that one hand, reach under, and try to place the entire length of your arm and shoulder on the floor. Use your other arm, the stationary arm, to push into the floor, and then pull this arm back, like you're pulling back on a bow and arrow. Reach under, place that arm flat on the floor, pull back on that bow and arrow. Try to get your wrist even to your ribs. Try 10 reps on one side, and then 10 reps on the other. Again, trying to put the length of the arm on the floor, get that shoulder to touch, and then pull back on that bow and arrow. All the way down, all the way up. And we're working that entire rotation of the spine, pretty much from the upper lumbar area all the way to the base of your neck. 10 reps per side, only do one side at a time to get the hang of it. And if you want to get kind of snazzy, you can alternate side to side. That's our third drill for today, and hopefully drills can help you guys out. If you have any questions, let us know through the website, and we'll see you next month.